Hi and welcome. It's the Easter bundle set dyeing session. So there is a couple of videos this month and they're all based around the Easter bundles that went out the end of March. So the one I'm doing today will be 4 colorways on Luxury Rovings. The first one that's in my tray now, and I'll pop the color inspiration up. Obviously I've got a bit of artistic license, but this is part of the 4 by 100 gram Rovings luxury blends. So first in my dye tray, I'll pop you down with the inspiration that you can see in the corner there. Okay, this one here, it's 23 micron count merino with flax linen top, and Tussar silk is in this blend as well, and it's one of my favorite luxury blends to purchase. So there's 2 rovings in here, so there's 200 grams in this tray altogether, and the theme is a sort of magnolia, so you've got greens and pinks. Obviously I can use a little bit of browns in there, fawns, maybe even a hint of blue in the background. So we're going to have a little play around with the colours. I have got a very dark roving here, which will do that one next, and I've got these 2 as well to do, but I will tell you what they are as I go along. This one's going to have to be really quite dark and bold colours to over dye the fibres, because it's got this grey brown sort of colourway to it, but I don't mind that popping through. So yeah, so we're going to get on with this first. I've not put citric acid in the tray yet, and there should be quite a lot of liquid going into this one, so I'm going to start off with a very pale baby pink. So I'm just going to pour that in, and I've put my rovings out so that I can have long colour changes. Put the sleeves up as well. Long colour changes on the rovings, so that zigzag width-wise all the way down. So I'm going to go in with the next one, which I've gone with a pecan brown, but a really light pigment of it, not overly strong. Press that down. As I say, I've not put my citric acid in as yet. I want the dye to penetrate into the roving. And then we're going to put in this one, which is an orchid pink, like so, and then press that down. And I haven't got any heat on the bottom of the tray yet. Then I've got this colour, which is a sort of, it's a plummy colour, but it's more dusky tone. Put that on there. Again, just give that a little bit of a massage with my fingers, make sure it goes through and I've not got too many white spaces. And then we'll go with this one, which is a berry. There we go. There's quite a lot of liquid in this tray now. Just give that a bit of a massage. That's lovely. Quite happy with that. And then I'm going to sprinkle my citric acid over the top, and then we'll bring that up from cold temperature to a simmer. I am going to add a little bit more water if this dog moves out from underneath my feet. Put that there and get the heat on now. So it shouldn't take too long to get these pigments to saturate through into the rovings. I will show you the results of them once they're all dried and you can see what they look like. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'll show you what they look like, obviously, once they're all dried and stuff. Alright, my gas is being silly buggers. Hold on a second. Right, hopefully that's that. So we've got a really soft pink up the top. We've got potentially a more of a woody grey brown sort of colourway. Then we have this orchid pink here. Then we have this dusky magnolia colour. And then we have this plummy purpley colour as well here. I'm just trying to push some of this pigment over a little bit. There we go. So it won't take too long. I'm just going to swivel the tray around a little bit. So as I say, this is 23 micron count merino with a flax linen and a bleached tussar silk that's blended through the rovings. Absolutely lovely fibre to work with for spinning. You can use it for blending up on your blended boards and on your drum carders if you want. But when I'm doing rovings, I like the rovings to be more luxury blends rather than the breed study type versions, which I do now and again, but it's not something I do that often. I tend to use just the plain breed, and we're not blending with anything for blending up on the drum carder. So I need to turn that down a little bit now, the tongs, and give it a little swivel about. Like this, these colours up here get a little bit of heat. I'll move this tray out of the way so I can move my big tray around. There we go. This is not even hot down here, it's hardly been on here at all. This was for the 4x100 gram Rovings luxury blend for the Easter bundle sets, which will come with little extra gifts and a handmade project bag from me, which most of them are already sewn up at the moment. So I'm going to let this do its thing, and then I'll come back to you in a sec with the second colourway. Okay, so the next one I'm working with is this one, this collared wool, and this is a dark, like an oatmeal-y sort of colour, Polworth 50% blended with 30% alpaca and 20% tussar silk. So again, I'm going to do the widthwise version of my dye, and I've put some water in this time, so we're just gonna the very gentle ginger laying of these fibers in here, because it's very, with the alpaca being 30%, very fragile to work with. I've got some really strong pigmented dyes set up in the pots over here. So what I'm trying to aim for is do two quite bold long colour change rovings, and then I'll do lighter versions on short colour change rovings, like so. So we're just gonna make sure they've got plenty of room to swoosh about in. Just make sure this water scoops all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so I'm working with a forest green. I'm going to put that in now, all the way down the bottom. So really dark, bold colours, so they all go over the top of this dark wool. Then next green is avocado. So forest green and avocado in here. Very similar pigments. One's got a bit more of a bluey tone in there. And then I'm going to go in with berry pink next. And then I have got some lichen, which I'm going to put up the top, lichen green. And then some amethyst pink in here. Now this dye tray's got quite a lot of liquid in this, so it's practically immersion dyeing. Probably got a little bit too much in there. Get the heat on and I'll go and get some citric acid to put on the top of here. Like so. So dark and moody. But it's nice and interesting for you to see that it's possible to dye over the top of a dark blended fibre. It's not something that I demonstrate that often, but this is an opportunity for you to see that, and then you'll see the results afterwards. So I'll get this out of the way. So, and that's it, just starting to come up and simmering. So you've got these green, two greens here, slightly different tones, and then you've got these magnolia pinks, slightly different tones, and then you've got hopefully a bit of a different tone of green penetrating into the fibres up this end. And so it'd be interesting to see the results of this afterwards, but I'll catch up with you when I'm on to the next one, which should be a bit more fresher, a bit more summery, maybe even a little hint of sky blues if you're looking through the trees with the blossom on through the sky. Maybe even a little bit of hint of peach and cream with the pink on the next one. So I'll catch you in a minute. So the next piece of roving we're working with is 23 micron count merino with this golden streaks through a soya fibre. Let me just see if I can find the end. It's around here somewhere. Right. Oh, there's one end. So where's the other bit? There it is. Okay, so we're going to do long, short colour changes on this one. Let me just try. Where's this going now? 1, 2, there we are. So up and down my dye tray. So length, not width this time round. Again, I'm working with 200 grams of the roving. And this one's going to be a little bit more pastel with a cream and some really soft pastel-y pinks and greens in the short colour change. And the whole point of these Easter bundle sets this time round with the 400 grams is so that you can actually have more than enough wool, 400 grams, to complete, or spin up and complete an entire project, which with wools that will complement each other. And that's my thinking on it. There we go. Right, that's those. So I'm just going to take out some of this green because there's quite a bit in there. I want it to be a lot lighter in colour. So take out half the pigment and then water it down. Like that. Right, so I'm going to go in and we're going to do short colour changes. So I'm going to pour that along here. And then we're going to go in with the next green. So I'm using an apple green and a green called Lime in the Coconut. Like that. Then we're going to go in with a pink blush. A lot lighter than the other colours, so you've got more contrast in. Then I've got this cream, and then I have a little bit more pink, and this is a really watered down amethyst left over from my last dye tray. There we go, so 2 different shades of pinks, and I'll get them pushed down a little. And again, get my citric acid on the go at the pot. Sprinkle that over the top. See how much lighter it is. That'll do, because there's not a lot of colour in there to strike to the fibre, and there will. And this lovely sheen off the top of the from the soya fibre, which you will see in the photograph that pops up on your screen in a sec. But yeah, that really won't take long at all. And then we've got the last one to do, which will have a little hint of blue in there on the next one, because we're looking at cherry blossoms. So I want a little bit of hint of blue in there. I want a little bit of more of an ivory cream, more of a softer pink I think it will go for, but not a lot of pink, because we've done the pink, and I just want to add in an extra colour dimension in there. I mean, we've got the brown, a hint of browns, we've got the pinks, we've got the plummy colours, and we've got the greens through all of them. Yeah, I think I've got one more green that I'm quite happy to try, and I think what I'll use is my fluorescent pink for the pink version on the next one. So yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll let this one get on, do the colour change, short colour changes, and we'll do the last one in a sec. So next I'm working with this lovely gorgeous fibre. It is Blue Face Leicester with bleached Tussar silk. Okay, so again, short colour changes on this one. So up and down length. Now you can do short colour changes when you do the side to side, but it's just the method that I like to sort of stick with. It just makes my life simpler knowing what I'm going to do when I am dyeing, unless I purposely decide I want to do this length of colour changes, really long ones. And in that way, I might as well just get my big dye stock pot out and do immersive dyeing that way. And then just dip the sections in as I go along, which I haven't done a video like that for a while, so I think that might be one for the books, maybe next month. Yeah, so there we go, all my colour rovings are in there, tiniest dash of water. Now this one's going to be a little bit different, because I'm not going to use any green. I'm going to think out the box a little bit with this one, still have the cherry blossom sort of colours in there, and we've got this lovely sky. So if you're looking up now, the person that I'm making this order up for, I know she will love the fact there's a little dash of blue in here as well. And because it's got the pinks going, there's still a bit of pink going in there, and there is some creamy colour going in as well. There's still going to be a complement of colour that can mix well with the other rovings. Then, so from that one, I'm going to go with, I have got this cream ivory colour it's supposed to be, so we'll pour that in next. And again, this is another play on the cherry blossom. Then I'm going to go in this one, which is called Champagne, and it's got like a goldy pinky sort of colour to it. Then I'm going to go in with my fluorescent pink, so we've got a little bit of vivid colour change in there, just to add in a pop, but it's not really bright anyway. It's very thinly pigmented. And then the other one I'm using is an antique mauve, just so you've got that dusky contrast that goes with the rest of them, as in the rest of the rovings that we've got in this Easter bundle pack. So there we go, put that down, let that just saturate through. So it's still got that pastel sort of feel to it, but with a different change in there. So we kept with the pinks. We've got a hint of the soft pastel-y creams, and then a hint of the blue for the sky, the cherry blossom, the colour of the petals, and then the dusky pinky mauve colour for the magnolias. So it's still in there, but it's just a different expression. So get the heat on. This is the last one for this set of 4 colourways. Get my citric acid scoop. And I'll just sprinkle that on as much evenly as possible. Like so. There we go. Voila. And there we have the colour. So I'll pop the picture up like I have done with the other ones, so you can see how the dyes have been laid out in the colour. These two are very similar to each other, so you might not be able to see the difference in these, the ivory and the champagne, but you'll be able to see the rest of it. But we'll have a look, see what they look like once they're dried up. So I'll be back with you tomorrow for the rest of this video. So literally a blink of an eye for you guys. So I'll catch you in a bit. Welcome back. Right, so the results of dyeing my Luxury Rovings, you can see them just behind here. So we have this one, which we did in the pinks and greens. Can you see that? I'll bring it back a little bit so you see a bit in the light. So it looks really pretty, like that. Really pretty. Hints of pinks, hints of cream, and then the yeah, hints of whites throughout it, because it's supposed to represent the blossom of the cherry trees, the pear trees, that sort of thing that's starting to come up in the garden. My cherry plum tree at the back of my garden has got a load of blossoms on it this year already. Nothing else has yet. They're not long, but yeah, I was surprised to see my cherry blossom, my cherry plum tree with blossom on it the other day. So I'm just going to braid this up. This was the merino and soya fibre. Absolutely gorgeous. I've steamed it as well, so it's really at its best potential for working with. So when this arrives at its new destination, its new home for adoption, then it will be ready to spin straight away. So I'm just going to gently, not too tight, braid this up. So there we go. So I'll pop a photograph up of them in the light box so you can see what it looks like. My light's not brilliant. I have to make do with these LED lights up top when it's weird weather. We don't have light at the front of the house this time yet. We obviously have daylight, but you know what I mean. So the next one up is the one where it was mostly pinks. I did a pink gradient, so it goes from this pink, and then you've got a hint of fawn in there, ever so slight to represent the wood on the trees, and then more pink, all the way through like so. So this one's a gradient, and this one I wanted it to look like magnolia, the magnolia blossom on the tree. So that's what we've gone with. And this gorgeous blend, I'll just tilt the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And this gorgeous blend is 23 micron Count Merino with a flax or linen, flax because it's unspun, and Tussar silk is in here as well. So it's absolutely beautiful gradient blend. So you've got one that's got short colour changes in that lovely soft pinks and greens, and then you've got, oh, my tissue paper's falling off. Then you've got this one, which is a gradient spin for working with. There we go, like such. And there we have this really pretty gradient colourway. So that's that one to get wrapped up. And then the next one we've got is the one that's, I wanted it to look like cherry blossom in the wind, but when you look up you see the hints of the sky. So you've got this gorgeous dusky pink, and it goes into this pink here, and then you've got the hint of the yellow from the nectar inside the petal, and then the blue skies, and then it just transfers all the way through, and these short colour changes. So that's another really pretty one. I'll be interested to see how this spins up. So we'll do that, and we'll braid it up. So this was Blue Face Leicester with extra bleached Tussar silk. There we go. Lovely, really, really soft, bouncy fibres, and it would be an absolute joy and heaven to spin this up. Right, so there we go. So there's another braid to be wrapped up in a second. So there we go, almost Easter eggy sort of colours, but if you use your imagination, you look up in the spring sky, you've got the hints of yellow with the sunshine off and the nectar and the blossom. Then you've got the blue sky in the distance, and then you've got the pink blossom and hints of cream throughout that. So there we go. And then the last one to go with our Spring in Bloom theme collection of my roving sets is this one. This was the dark grey Polworth blended with alpaca and Tussar silk, and again a really, really pretty and unusual. It was dark grey when we dyed it, and the colours have come out. So I've got hints of greens, I've got the limes in there, and yes, it's a bit darker than the other ones, but I think for if you want to use it all in one project, you've got the lighter version, so you can start off with the soft pink and greens, and then go into the blue with the blue with the, what's the word I'm looking for? Forgot it already. The blue and the pinks and the yellows one I've just shown you. So you can start off with the merino soya, then go into the BFL with silk, and then go into the pink one with the flax. That's the gradient colour change, and this one is a gradient colour change as well. So you've got these pinks going through the lovely dark plums, and you needed to go a bit darker because it was a coloured wool, and it's just nice to do something a little bit different, especially if you've bought a coloured wool by accident or you've been gifted it. I know you're like, how can you get it by accident? You might buy it and think, well, it looks really lovely, but when you receive it, you're like, yeah, I want something I want something a bit more depth in it. So you can over dye it, or you just don't enjoy it, or whatever. You could have been gifted it, but yeah. So there we go. So this is a grey Polworth with 50%, and then it's 30% alpaca, and then 20% Tussar silk, and you've got these greens going all the way through. I'm just trying to tease it open a little bit so it looks pretty as a braid. Right, there we go. I'm going to quickly braid this up. Really lovely. You've got forest green and then a moss green going into the pinky plummy colours of the magnolia trees, or the plum blossom that's maybe starting to grow on your trees at the moment at the garden. You might even have some azaleas that are starting to flower as well, and they're really dark greens and on the leaves because they're an evergreen plant. But then you've got the pink buds that are blooming at the moment. So there you go. So it's an interesting one to work with. I'll pop a picture of all of them up so you can see what they look like. So I'll pop that there like that, and then that one there, yeah, like that, so you can see potentially what they could look like being worked together. Right, hold on a sec. So there you have all four of those going from a lighter, get the blue up the top there, then into the pinks and greens, then into the gradients, and then into the darker colour. You could quite easily work them as one project, not a problem, especially with the pattern that I've bought to go with these. So I'm going to get these wrapped up in this gorgeous wildflower print tissue paper. So I'm going to get these done. I'll be back with you in a minute and I'll show you what else is going in with this order. So there we go. There are the blended rovings all wrapped up in this gorgeous paper. Beautiful wildflowers just to go with this theme. So, and the peony rose tags. I do have other flower ones as well, but these are the ones I chose to go on this today. So what I'll do is I'll run through with a few bits that have gone into the gifts, because I like with my Christmas advents. To be fair, my smaller packs always get the same Christmas advents as what my larger Christmas advents do, and I do go a little bit mad. So I always include some sort of new design project bag into all of my Christmas advents and my Easter bundle sets. So this one's a new one. There we go, with a little handle. You can actually put your hand in so you can carry it up the stairs if you've got a project in here. It's large enough to hold some circular needles or DPNs, ball of wool, skein of wool. Also I've included these little fold out scissors on a keyring. Can you see that there? Yeah. So you just literally fold them back and push them back in like that. So you've always got a little pair of scissors, but they are detachable. You literally just push the clip back and then take it off the ring, and then that's that done. So I'll show you a few of the things that are in here, and then when I do my next show and tells, you'll be able to see what else is added in at the same time. So we've got some little fragrance pouches sourced by Oxfam, and they are part of the Defeat Poverty. So that one is a rose pouch, because the smell is gorgeous, with a hand spun and hand woven pouch with a fragrance wood powder, the natural way to fragrance your space. So perfect for anyone that's knitting or stores wools and stuff like that. It'll help your wool just maybe beat off those pesky beasties that you might be a little bit wary of. Next, I have got these on the website, but I ordered them in for this specifically. These are self-measuring tapes. Brilliant bit of little kits. You can quite literally wrap it around your wrist if you need to take measurements, and then you slot it through the little gap on there. There we go. And then press the button and you can measure on your own without getting the other half or somebody else to help you measure yourself. Ideal and perfect for any knitter that really needs, or weaver who's making clothes out their fabrics. What else have we got in here? Oh, I'll grab these, and then as I say, I will save the rest of the bits and pieces that are in here for another day. So these are 14 karat gold plated love hearts. So they'll fit on needles about 5.5mm, and it's also got gorgeous little enamelled rose on there, because the theme that was chosen for this one obviously was the pinks and greens sort of theme. Okay, so that is included in everybody's. What else have we got in here that I can show you? There's a bag of Easter sweets come as well, and a little tea and some other bits. As I say, I will show you those as time goes on, because there's another 3 videos to come after this one, and also a knitting pattern, a bag of sweets, and some other bits and pieces that are in here also. Yeah, so that's that for now. So there we go. That is 2025 spring in the spring in bloom luxury roving dyeing packaging, and a few of the extra bits that go in there that I've shown you. As I say, I will show you the rest when I do them. There's another 3 videos to come after this one that you'll see throughout the whole month of April. The next one I'll be doing is the teal bats. Yeah, there's the dandelion bats that got to blend up. They're already dyed, and I've got a pink and green version of the bats to do as well, and I've got a pink and green version of the yarn to dye up. So you'll see those videos over the next 3 weeks. I hope you enjoy them. I've done them for April, so they run with the Easter weekend and afterwards, so that you guys can see what it is that you get with an Easter bundle set, and it also gives you a really good idea of the sort of thing that you get with a Christmas advent as well. So that's me for now. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up for like. It really does help the algorithms for being noticed on YouTube. Also, I have noticed, and I will just mention this now, that on my stats I have 59 people that actually subscribe, but there's another 59% watch and subscribe. I've got another 41% of people that actually watch all my videos but they don't subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. It just helps me and my channel grow a little bit better, and it helps the YouTube algorithms to actually notice that I am actually doing something really productive, and helping you guys learn something, or just enjoy something, or just want to come and watch me. Either way, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.